to yoga today. You may find you need a couple of bricks for today's session. You may also want to use a strap. I tend not to use it, but I will try and give you a little bit of guidance as to when it's appropriate. We're going to start in a seated position on your mat. You may find that having a brick underneath your hips makes this a little bit more comfortable. Some people find it does, some people find it doesn't. We're going to start with a little bit of breathing. So in your seated position on your mat, place your hand on your chest and your other hand on your belly. Take a nice deep inhale. Feel your chest rise, feel your belly fill, and then exhale. Feel your chest fall and your belly fall. From here, relax your hands, and then taking your shoulders all the way forwards up into your ears, and exhaling as your shoulders draw down your back. Inhaling, shoulders come all the way up to your ears. Exhaling, shoulders come all the way back down again. We've got 3 more of these. Take your time. Place your hands onto your rib cage. Take a nice deep inhale. And feel your chest rise forwards, outwards, and also backwards as well. And then exhale. Feel your rib cage draw in. Playing around a little bit with the back of your body. See if you get a nice big stretch in between every single rib as you breathe. Gently relaxing your hands back down again. From here, take a nice deep inhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine, and then exhale, slowly bring your rib cage down towards your hips. Let your head and neck be long, and then exhale, coming all the way back into a seated position. We're starting to work your abdominal muscles here, so it's an inhale, and then exhale, drawing your ribcage down towards your hips, letting your head and neck be heavy. Drawing your belly button in towards your spine, and then as you exhale to come back up again, releasing your belly button all the way out. Inhaling, doing that nice little curve, gently squeezing your abdominals. Inhaling, coming all the way back to seated. Place your feet all the way out in front of you, hands either side of your hips, toes pointed up towards the ceiling, and draw your shoulder blades away from your ears. So if you find you've got a little bit of tension, think about your shoulder blade coming all the way down, away from your ear, and Really pressing your hands flat into your mat. Drawing my thighs into my hips, drawing my belly button into my spine. Sweeping your arms all the way up over the head, and then exhale, hinging forwards. Again, I'm drawing my shins up into my knees, drawing my knees into my hips. I'm really feeling a really strong pull on the front of my legs. I'm trying to keep my back as straight as I can as I hinge forwards. And then exhaling, hands come all the way down onto the mat. You're going to roll downwards, a little bend in your knees. First time we're using your abdomen and resting out. You may want to strap for the next one. If you do want to strap, you're going to place it over your foot. If you don't, you're going to bring your hands onto your thigh. And then as you inhale, straighten your leg out, point your toe up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, drawing your heel back towards your hip. Inhaling. Foot comes up towards the ceiling. And then exhaling. Your foot comes back down again. If you find you're getting cramp in your foot, relax it out. Don't point the toe, just relax the foot all the way out. We're looking for that hamstring stretch. Maybe you're getting a little bit more length. I'm still using my abdomen and my hip flexor to try and stretch out my hamstring. Place your right leg down on the ground. Bend your left leg, straighten your right leg, and then come on to the other side. Hands go into your thigh. And then from here, lifting up, pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. And then coming back out of that. From here, bring your left foot down onto the ground. Right knee comes in. You're going to draw your right knee into your chest. Left leg hovers off the ground. Squeeze your right knee into your chest. Send your right leg away. Draw your left knee in. Squeeze your right knee in towards your chest and keep switching over. Remember, you're breathing as you do this. So, doing an inhale. Switch over, exhale. I'm gently using my abdomen to help with the stretch, but a lot of it is coming from my arms. Bring both knees into your chest, give them a nice little hug. Feet come back onto the ground. Place your hands underneath your knees and roll into a seated position. If you get dizzy from that move, take a little bit of a pause here and then we can start again. You're going to come into a seated position, hands come either side. You may find having a couple of bricks either side of your hips is useful for the next move, because we're going to try and lift your hips up off the ground. I like doing it without bricks just because it's a little bit more tricky for me. Your hands are going to be either side of your thighs, slightly forwards of your hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Shoulders are drawing away from your ears, and then from here press down into the heels of your hands and lift your hips upwards. And then slowly draw your hips all the way back down again. You're going to do it 3 more times. Hands come into your mat. You're going to exhale, press down, lift up. And then draw your hips back down. That's 2. We've got 2 more to go. I know you're loving it. From here, press into your hands, lift up. And coming all the way back down again. Last one. From here, hands come down. Really draw your belly button in towards your spine, and then lift. Slowly coming back down again. It should feel quite a strong pull into your hip flexors here. We're going to roll over your ankles. If you don't like doing this, then bring your feet around the side of you and come into a tabletop position. Hands come underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. From here, draw your spine up above your shoulder blades and your head into the back of your skull. Slightly tuck the tailbone under and step back with your right foot, and then with your left foot into a high plank position. From here, your left foot comes forward, right foot stays backwards. You're still pressing your shoulder blades apart, creating a lot of space. Right hand comes all the way up towards the ceiling. You're opening out to the right hand side. Press your big toes down from here. Slowly transfer your weight forwards onto your left foot, and you can slide, 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 and then if you want to, you can lift up that back leg, opening out your hip to the right hand side. If you're able to, you can reach back to hold on to your right foot. I always have a moment where I wonder if I can actually do this. If you're struggling to reach the ground, place a brick underneath your left hand. Keep opening out to the right hand side. From here, stepping that right foot back down onto your mat. Be nice and heavy. Relax out through your back, through your spine, through your head, through your hands. And then gently rolling all the way back up to standing. We're going to do Asana A, Surya Namaskara A. Inhaling, lifting your arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, hinging at your hips, coming down towards the ground. Fingers come flat onto your mat as you do this lovely fold forward, stretching everything out in the back of your body. Inhale, tall spine, try and get a straight back, tuck your chin in slightly. Exhale, hands come back onto your mat, step back with your right foot and then with your left foot. Knees draw down onto the ground. We're going to do a nice chaturanga to begin with. Tuck your tailbone under and draw your belly button into your spine. Head is into the back of your skull. Elbows draw backwards into your rib cage, chaturanga. Inhale into up dog, this one, or you can do cobra. It's your choice. Work with your back position that works for you. And then untuck your toes, exhale. Coming into first downward facing dog of the morning, and set yourself up. I've just adjusted my hands, I've adjusted my feet, really lifting with my hips here, trying to get a nice long line between my hands, my shoulders and my hips before I even think about trying to get my heels down onto the ground. Really, I'm trying to create space in my spine.
inhale, looking towards the front of the mat, step forwards with your right foot, and then with your left foot, exhaling, folding. And again, I'm thinking about this length in my spine here, and trying to create length in my hamstrings as well. I can feel the muscles in the back here be really tight on me.
Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. If you can reach the mat, great. I'm thinking long and forwards. Exhale, folding, relaxing all the way out. This is delicious. Inhaling, lifting your arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, hands come out to either side. We're going to go on to the opposite side. So from here, you're going to inhale, lift your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat. From here, come into a tabletop position. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Really feel for your thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Spine is tool of your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are pulling apart. Head is coming into the back of your skull. Stepping up into a high plank position. This is where I forget which leg I've done. I think I did the left one last time, so we'll bring the right one forwards. Keep pressing your shoulders apart. That creates this lovely space for your body. From here, you're then going to turn your left foot. Left heel comes down, left arm comes up into the air. We rotate to the left-hand side. Apologies, I've turned away. If you want to, you can look up towards your hand or down towards your big toe. From here, we're slowly dragging that back foot towards the right one. Knee comes over your index toe on the right-hand side, and then you're opening out to the left. Really lifting up with everything in your body. I really feel this strongly in my hips. When you're ready, you can reach back. You can see this one's the weaker leg. Okay, so from here you can reach back, hold onto your left leg. Really opening out your body. From here, my left foot is coming back down towards the ground. I'm relaxing all the way out. And then I'm inhaling, sweeping my arms up overhead. We've got another asana to go into here. So you're going to exhale, sit back into a chair pose, asana B. Inhaling and then exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come flat onto your mat. Step back with your left foot, then with your right foot. If you want to do a full chaturanga, we're going for it. Elbows draw in towards your rib cage. Inhaling into up dog or cobra. Oh, feels good. Exhale from here. Hips come back into the air. Place your big toes down. Really ground your big toes before you even start. Lift through your ankles. Right foot steps forward. Left heel draws in. Big toe down. Heel down. Bring up with the back ankle. Inhaling, sweeping your arms into warrior one. Hips, we're trying to get them forwards. Mine don't like this move. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat, step back with your right foot, elbows draw into your ribcage. Inhale into up dog, exhale into downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, we're creating that arch, big toe, heel, draw up with the ankle. Right heel steps back and inwards, inhaling, sweeping your arms up into the air, exhaling. Hands come down onto your mat, step back with your left foot, elbows draw into the rib cage. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale, lifting your hips into the air, drawing your hips all the way up. We've got 5 breaths in downward facing dog,
Adjust your hands, be comfortable. If you want to take child's pose, go for it. Shoulders are wide of your spine and broad of your ears. Here, looking towards the front of the mat, bending your knees, stepping or jumping your feet forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up into chair pose. Exhaling, coming all the way back out again. Right foot steps backward, right heel draws down, left foot is forward. Left knees are going over your index toe. You're inhaling, lifting up into warrior two. Love warrior two. Gaze is along your index finger. You're thinking about drawing your shoulder blades all the way apart. From here, left arm comes onto your left thigh. Right arm sweeps all the way up overhead. We're thinking of getting a lovely long stretch and a long line up your body. You can either look down towards your big toe or up towards your right hand. From here, you're looking down towards the ground. Right hand comes all the way down across your body. Left hand comes up. If you want to stabilize, you can with your left hand coming down, or you can come into a complete rotation. And we're coming into half moon here. Bending your left knee, bring your left hand back down again, sweeping all the way forwards with your right knee. Hands come underneath your right thigh, extending your right leg all the way out. Nice straight arms, and then if you want to, you can let go. Exhaling, right foot comes all the way down. We've got another asana to do. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come down onto your mat. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, fold, squeeze your core. Hands come down onto the ground, stepping or jumping into chaturanga. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Taking 5 deep breaths here. Inhaling, looking towards the front of your mat, bending your knees, stepping or jumping your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your arms all the way up overhead, stepping back with your left heel. Left heel draws down and your feet are pointing outwards. From here, you're going to inhale, lift your arms up to shoulder height. Warrior two. Right arm comes onto your right thigh. Left arm sweeps up overhead, and you're either looking down towards your big toe or up towards your hand. Hands come down towards the ground. Slowly lift your back leg. If you want to stabilize, you can then have both hands down, or you can pivot and try and bring your right hand up towards the ceiling. Bending your left knee, bring your right hand down to your right thigh. Swing your left leg all the way forwards up to your chest. Give it a lovely little hug and then send that leg away from you. Keep pulling
up with your hip flexor if you want to go unsupported. And then slowly lowering. We've got another asana to do. So, Surya Namaskara B, inhale, lift your arms up overhead, exhale, hips come backwards into chair pose. Take a nice deep breath here. And then exhaling, hands come down onto your mat, nice tall spine. Inhale, tall spine, straight back. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat, stepping, jumping, whatever you want to do, into chaturanga. Whatever works for you. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips come all the way back. We can move into warrior one. Downward facing dog. Not warrior one. You can see where I'm about to go. Right foot steps forward, left heel draws down. Inhaling, coming into warrior one. We're now in warrior one. Too excited. Exhaling, hands come down onto your mat. Step back with your right foot. Elbows draw into your rib cage. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, right heel draws in. Inhale, sweeping all the way up. Try and keep your balance, like me. Into a warrior one. Exhaling, hands come down onto the mat. Step back with your left foot. Elbows draw into your rib cage. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale, coming back into downward facing dog. Really having to lift my hips up. I feel like the whole of my body is working against me sometimes in downward facing dog. And just think about millimeters. If I can create a millimeter in my spine, maybe that will mean that I can create a millimeter somewhere else in my body. On your next inhale, looking towards the front of your mat, stepping or jumping your feet forwards towards your hands. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, straight back. Now take your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart, and you're going to sit back into a yogi squat. I know a lot of people really dislike yogi squats and find it very, very uncomfortable. So my recommendation is have something like a brick or a block out in front of you to counterbalance your bum going backwards and down. Also, raising yourself up a little bit will probably help you. So I'm going to come into this lovely little yogi squat, which I really enjoy. It's one of my favourite positions to sit in. Strange being that I am. Hands come underneath your shoulders as you tip your hips upwards. And I always think of this as almost like an engine, like a jet. And my head is going to launch straight off, and I'm trying to get my back as straight as I possibly can. And I'm pulling backwards with my hip bones and pulling forwards with my head, and my shoulder blades are wide of my spine. This feeds into quite a few different poses, that one, most notably crow pose, just in case, at some point in time you might want to do it. From here, you're going to place your left hand down onto the ground. I like to rotate my feet slightly so that I can get a little bit of more of an angle. Left hand is down and my right hand sweeps all the way up towards the ceiling. Nice little bit of a rotation. Right hand comes down, left hand sweeps up. I know a lot of people may find that this is not their favourite thing. So we're not going to hang around too long here. If you're finding you have to come up in between each, come up, come back down, do another rep, come up, come back down, do another rep. It really is up to you. This is your session and your yoga. From here, you're going to place your hands down onto the mat, knees come down, and we're going to sit backwards onto your heels, slowly nudging further and further forwards. So I'm going to just do a little bit of a nudge backwards here. If you find that you have very, very tender knees and very sore knees, put a cushion underneath your knees and protect them. If you find find that this is really uncomfortable, place a cushion underneath your ankle, between the front of the ankle and the mat. That will help cushion them somewhat. From here, you're going to come forwards, untuck your toes. Feet are now tucked under. We're doing a double check that your plantar fascia, so that's underneath your foot, on the base of the foot, feels okay. If this feels okay, then you can bring your hips all the way upwards. Hands are then on your spine. So I'm placing my hands either side of my spine, my fingertips are pointing down towards my hips. And then I'm just going to gently open out my chest, drawing my elbows together, getting a lovely stretch all the way down from my rib cage to the front of my hips, creating the length we need in the abdomen. And it's a lift up and a squeeze of your bum. Lift up from the chest, squeeze your bum to get the hips forwards. And then exhaling, gently releasing your hips. If that feels good, then you can move on. If it feels really uncomfortable and pinchy, don't do as much and keep working with that as a variation. I'm going to go through a few more. Hips come all the way forwards. If you can reach the heels of your feet, you're going to come back with your hands onto the heels. Squeeze your bum and lift your hips forwards. Now lift your chest up. Open out the front of your neck. If you want to, you can sweep and rotate to look down your right arm. Exhaling, draw your left hand back down to your left heel. Keep squeezing and lifting with your abdomen coming forwards. Right arm sweeps up overhead. Right arm comes back onto your right foot. Keep lifting with your core. No pinching of your spine. And then gently bring your hips all the way backwards. And you're slowly coming all the way out, rounding through your back into a child's pose to relax out your spine, which may have worked quite hard during that pose. Inhaling, coming all the way back up again. From here, you may find that the next ones are a lot deeper and they also get your hip flexors involved. So I've given you a few variations. If you feel that the next ones are a bit tough, go back through those variations and try them again. From here, I'm going to bring my knees together, my heels together, and then slowly come onto my hands. This may be where you stay, this may be enough. I'm then going to do a little lift of my hips and squeezing my bum to remind myself that I'm going to need to do this. And that creates roughly a straight line between my knees, my hips, my shoulders, and my head. Now, from here, you can gently lower yourself onto your forearms. Check in with your spine, no pinching. Okay, should feel nice. Should feel like it's opening out the front of your body. If it is available to you, you can then bring your arms flat onto the floor. Try and get your shoulders down. I can't quite do it. And you lift through your hips. There is no weight going through my head. All of this is held on my spine and my hips. From here, I'm tucking my chin in. My left hand comes underneath my spine, then my right hand, and then I'm slowly bringing myself back up to a seated position, taking a moment before I curl all the way forwards into a child's pose. Just relaxing through my lower back. moment here, just in case you've got a little bit of a head rush. If you don't, we can move on. You're going to come back into a high plank position
and then push into downward facing dog.
So we're going to come into a few core crunches in a downward facing dog.
Your right leg goes all the way up towards the ceiling. Really squeeze your right glute to open out your body. Right knee then comes to right elbow. Inhaling, right leg comes up into the ceiling. Squeeze your right glute. Right knee comes to left elbow. Right leg comes up, overhead, squeezing right glute. Right knee comes in towards your nose. You're trying to crunch as much as you can, gently touching your knee to your nose before sending your right foot back down onto your mat. Left leg comes all the way up into the air, opening out your left hip. Squeeze your left glute. Inhaling, left knee to left elbow. Exhaling, left leg comes up into the air. Squeeze your left glute. Feels really good. Left knee comes to right elbow. Last one, left leg comes up into the air. Squeeze everything you've got. Right, left knee comes in and gently taps your nose. From here, you're going to bring your knees all the way down and relax out into child's pose. Taking 5 breaths here. You've worked really hard so far. We've got a little bit further to go. Placing your hands onto the mat, sliding your chest forward, send your feet backwards, coming into a cobra position. Lift your right leg all the way up towards the ceiling, left hand comes underneath your chest. We're pressing into the ground. You're going to loop your hand over your foot and draw your foot down towards your hip, making sure that you take your left shoulder away from your left ear. If you want to try and rotate your hand, you can do. I struggle on this side. Relaxing out your right foot and your right arm. Right hand comes underneath your right rib cage. Left foot sweeps up towards the ceiling. Left hand sweeps around. You're going to grab hold of your left toes. Draw your left foot down towards your hip. Right shoulder presses away from your right ear. Drawing your left heel down towards your left hip. Release your left foot and relax out onto your mat. Do a little shimmy with your hips, relaxing out your spine. We are going to come into a bow pose. If this feels very uncomfortable, please choose one of the other alternatives I've just given you, all the way from cobra into one of the one-sided quad stretches. My hands are on my feet. I'm engaging my core and pushing my hips down into the mat. From here, I kick my feet into my hands, draw my feet upwards and squeeze my bum before squeezing through my spine. And keep breathing. And then exhale, coming all the way back down again. Hands come either side of your rib cage, and we're just gently pressing into the mat, slowly, very gently, rounding out through your spine into a child's pose. If you find this irritates your shoulder, you're going to bend your arms, maybe place your hands either side of your ankles.
From here, coming back into a tabletop position. Draw your knees all the way forwards, sit back onto your heels. If you're happy to do so, you can then roll your feet underneath you and come into a seated position. We're going to do one last sequence of core, a little bit of stretching, and then we'll go into Shavasana. And it's going to start really nicely by coming all the way backwards. From here, you are coming into Happy Baby. One of my clients pointed out that Happy Baby was not comfortable to them, so I suggested what they did was bend, get their knees, take their knees nice and wide, and support their knees with either their hands, or you can have a couple of cushions either side. Both are very good alternatives. If you want to come into a full Happy Baby, you can place your index finger and middle finger onto your big toes. And then from here, you're lifting up with the heels up towards the ceiling, creating a little bit of length. And this works into your pelvic floor. It stretches out your pelvic floor as you're doing this. Draw your feet together, let your knees come out to either side. Draw your belly button down towards your spine. Then let your knees fall out. And then feet come down onto the ground. You're going to inhale, squeeze everything, come all the way into a seated position. Rolling slightly downwards, your left leg is straight, your right knee is bent. You can do this two different ways. Either the version we did at the beginning, which is lying down, that would take the stress off your chest and maybe your neck. If you want to, you can also come all the way up towards your knee. And it is exhale, hands come forwards, inhale, switch legs. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Now switching sides, exhale. I think that's just how I did it. Hang on, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale. From here, coming all the way back into a seated position. And then we're going to play around with a little bit of boat banana, which most people know that I really like. So you're going to come into a boat pose. Oh, I should say an alternative boat pose is feet down and hinging backwards. That still works your abdomen and your hip flexors. If you want to go into the full boat pose, then your feet are parallel and your legs are parallel with the ground, and then your thighs come up into a 45-degree position. From here, you're going to exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, come into a boat pose, and then you're rotating to the side. This is quite tricky. And then arms come all the way forwards in front of you, straighten your legs into a boat. Inhale, come all the way up into boat pose, and then rotate to the other side. It's a really very strong movement. Exhaling, come down into banana. Apologies, I said boat before. This is boat pose, the bottom one's banana. From here, right hand comes around. We're getting that lovely juicy twist into your abdomen. Coming all the way down, inhaling, almost lost my balance. exhaling. Inhaling, coming back up. We've got one more on the other side. Exhale. Inhale. Rotate. Coming all the way back down. Your abdomen feels like it's being rinsed. Knees come into your chest and you're rolling, alternating knees. Right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee. Doing these lovely little rolls into the back of your spine. And it feels really, really nice, very delicious. If you're happy to do so, you can let your legs fall over to the right hand side. Your body is facing upwards. Inhaling, lift your knees up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, knees fall over to the left hand side. Body is facing upwards, legs are facing the side. From here, inhaling, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You're just going to gently relax your legs out. Bring your feet together and let your legs fall to either side. And I always find this quite pleasant because it really shows you how your brain is holding your body, suspending your body. And we're just gently trying to relax your brain enough so that your body can relax anywhere that's tight under tension. So you can see my knees are slightly raised off the ground. My brain is trying to protect my body by making sure that I don't overextend with my hips. And I'm just going to say to my brain, it's safe to do so. There is nothing wrong with my hips getting more and more loose, which is where your breathing comes in. Gently bringing your knees together. We're about to go into a Shavasana. With Shavasana, I know a lot of people like being covered, and I certainly find it very helpful to have my the light dimmed out and my senses very much switched off. I'm going to pop a couple of layers on because it's got a little bit chilly in here as well. So give me a minute to do that, and then we'll go into Shavasana. As you are getting ready for Shavasana, take a moment to clear out any unwanted thoughts from your brain. And as we slowly roll down onto the mat, pick a position that feels comfortable for you to maintain for 5 minutes. Timer so that I don't end up going over. One of my favourite positions is having my knees coming together and my feet wide. But you don't have to choose this, and you don't have to be flat on your mat. You can be seated, you can be anywhere that feels comfortable for you. And you're letting go of any tension in your body at this time. So that means no breathing control. means being very heavy with your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, your spine and your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, and your feet. Let everything be really heavy. Let the ground support you. And if you struggle to clear your mind, which I certainly do on occasion, come back to a thought that is comforting for you. And keep drawing yourself back towards that thought. starting to become aware of your own. Taking a deep inhale and then exhale. Moving your fingers, stretching your toes. Take another nice deep inhale. Feel the back of your body press into your mat. And gently exhaling. Drawing one knee into your chest and then the other. And then wrapping your arms around your shins or the back of your thighs and gently rocking from side to side. And rolling onto one side and pressing yourself back into a seated position when you are ready. Hands come into a prayer pose. Draw your heels down towards your feet. Get a lovely stretch on the inside of your wrists. Bow your head. Say namaste. Thank you very much for joining me for yoga today. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you soon.